Welcome, Sagittarius. This is your weekly focus for the week of June the 3rd. I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. Thank you for being here, and thank you for all of your support. Now we will turn right to the cards and see what they have to reveal for us for this coming week. And our underlying energy is... Look at that, the Two of Swords. Well, we have decisions to make. Absolutely. These decisions we will not be able to make by any kind of external advice, experience, for we have to go within. We have to choose, what is the best course of action for us going forward, for us personally going forward. And it might be the unpopular thing to do, or it might be something that we don't even want to do. But we already hold the answers within. It's going to take passion. It's going to take courage in order to make this decision too. It could be very emotional, this decision that we are making. Maybe it means that there'll be a separation between you and another, that you really don't want that separation, but you know the separation needs to happen in order for you to go forward in the way you want. So it could be that you are leaving your town and you have to leave your parents or your aunts and uncles or your cousins or your best friend or your children or whatever it might be for you. Okay, so it's a strong decision that we have to make this week. And so I would have to say that if you are talking to other people, to listen more than speak. Okay, don't give them the information. Allow them to just talk and channel in what you need to hear. They won't know they're channeling. Maybe they will. Our first card, the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands tells me that you have been working your entire life to come to this moment in time. That there is something brand new awaiting your path forward. This could be a brand new relationship. This could be taking your relationship to new heights. This could be in work, career, growing your abundance, growing your prosperity, growing your happiness, growing your joy in some way, growing your spirituality. But you have been preparing this whole... And I'm going to tell my story here because I haven't told the story in quite some time. Hopefully I remember how it goes. But this describes this card because all these wands in the back are the paths that you have walked, preparing you for this moment. Now you hold this wand in your hand. All those wands started out the exact same way, but you are looking at it on, is this a new beginning that I want to step into? Do I have the passion for it? Do I have the courage to really step into it? Okay, so a young girl, she is spinning threads, making ropes, different colors, different styles, different thicknesses, different weights for her father. And one day her father comes in and says, "Daughter, it's time to pack up our wares and go across the ocean and sell them, or go across the sea and sell them. So pack everything up, and while we're gone, we are going to look for a husband for you." "Okay, Father." And she starts packing up, and away they go. And a storm comes out of nowhere. The ship is completely ruined. She is the only survivor. She's laying on this beach. And these guards come up and grab her and say, "You have to come with us." And she's confused, and she doesn't know what's going on, and life is changing here for her in a heartbeat. And they put her up for sale in the marketplace, and somebody sees her there and thinks, I could probably give her a stable environment and she could do the work I need her to do. So he purchases her and he takes her, and he's very loving and kind to her, and he teaches her how to make different fabrics and different tents and tarps and coverings and clothing and anything to do with making different kinds of materials. And one day he says, we got to pack up and go and sell this. So she's okay. So she packs everything up and they board the ship, and pirates come and they take over the ship and they take her hostage. And they put her to work on the boat, making the long poles for the ship's sails. And one day, yep, you got it, there's this horrific storm. There's no survivors. She's the only person. She washes up on this beach. And these guards come and say, you have to come with us. We need to take you to the emperor. And she says, of course. But just prior to that moment, she looks up at the sky and she says, why? Why is it every time I accept my life and I work towards joy and happiness and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, it all gets torn away from me? Why? So she goes with these guards to the emperor, and the emperor says, there is this folktale, this premonition of a woman found stranded on the beach alone. And with her, she comes to the emperor, and she can build these great, beautiful tents that all the world will marvel and will bring great riches and abundance and prosperity into the emperor's kingdom and the emperor himself. Are you that woman? And she thinks for a few minutes, and she says, yeah, I could probably do that. Wonderful. How do we get started? And she starts to talk about the process of first she needs to make the tarps, and we have nothing like that here. The emperor gets all panicky. She says, don't worry, I know how to make them. Give me a team. Next, it's the ropes and whatnot. And once again, they have no idea how to do that. She gets a team. She goes to work. And then finally, it's the big poles, and we have nothing like that here. And she goes, that's okay. I know what to do. Once again, her team builds all the poles, and the tents are so miraculous and so creative and so imaginative. And there's rooms leading everywhere in these tents, and they're colorful and they're expansive, and everybody comes from all over to look, and it brings in great riches to the kingdom, great prosperity and abundance to the kingdom and the emperor himself. And so she finds herself in front of the emperor again, and he says, my goodness, you've done all this for me. What can I do for you? And she thinks about it for a minute, and she says, well, a long time ago I set out to find a husband, so if you could find me a husband. And the emperor said, marry me. And she lived happily ever after. Had that happened at any time earlier in her life, she wouldn't have been able to marry the emperor, step into her best life ever. Okay, so this is a very potent card, because it could be a destiny. It could be a legacy when it's your very first card that you are stepping into. It's becoming a new, improved you. It's giving birth to the person that you always wanted to become, or knew you could be, or had an inkling that this is the way you wanted your life to be. So, beautiful first card. We have the Four of Cups. It all starts with gratitude. It all starts with understanding what we have in our world around us. What is beautiful? What has harmony? What has joy? What has love in my life? What gives me that in my life? And if you do not do a practice of gratitude, and I mean Google it, the researchers are all over this, because it does increase our happiness level. It does lower our blood pressure. It gives us a healthier heart. We sleep sounder. We fall asleep easier. We are more content in the beauty of what we have, and more beauty seems to come our way each and every day. So if you don't do it, I would suggest a journal. But if you don't want to commit to a journal, then grab a piece of paper and a pen and put it on your nightstand. And tonight when you go to bed, write one thing you are grateful for. Now read it aloud, put your head on that pillow and go to sleep. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as you're grateful. Maybe it is that pillow itself that you are the most grateful for in that moment in time. Write it down, say it aloud, go to sleep. The next night, write a second thing. Read them both, go to sleep. Third night, you kind of see where I'm going with this. Well, you do this for a couple of weeks, and you've got a page or a couple of pages of things that you are grateful for. And that starts to rewire your brain into what you already have in great abundance and great prosperity and great love and great joy that maybe you weren't seeing in the present moment. Maybe you were taking it for granted. Maybe you weren't putting your focus and awareness on all the beauty that is in your world. Once you start doing that, the world explodes with beauty for you. More and more beauty comes in. And with this card we have, it's usually the hand of God is holding this cup back from us, because we are, we're not really focused on the beauty we already have in our world. So why give us more We don't already appreciate what we do have in our life. And this is a time when we turn our focus to the beauty that sits right in front of us, that hand of God gives us that path, that unique path. We have the Moon card as our third card. Okay, this is about allowing your true self to come out, to explode, to, be that wild, free, liberated Sag I know you are. Okay, this is the path to great abundance, great success. Look at the mountains in this one. Okay, most of the cards have, hills, giant hills, big mountains or small mountains, but these have these gigantic superimposed mountains, and mountains in tarot mean success, wealth, prosperity, joy, abundance. Okay, and this is great success, great joy, great prosperity. And it's getting to know what makes you happy, what makes you motivated, what makes you want to jump out of bed, where you lose yourself completely. It could be in just you love reading books, and when you start reading a book, you can read it cover to cover because the whole world just disappears around you. So it's like that with a passion, with a dream, with a desire, with a tool, with an ability, with a talent in order to take it forward. Okay, overriding this energy is the Five of Wands. This is playing nicely with this is about learning. Okay, this is about learning from each other, doing things together, growing. Brainstorming would be another thing. Team play would be another thing. So if you are in solitude in what you do right now, it's time to branch out. It's time to socialize with purpose. And that has been a theme weaving in and out of these readings this week, is opening ourselves up to socializing with purpose. If it's that job we want to start socializing with the people that can make a difference in making the decisions on who gets the promotion and who doesn't. Okay, starting to show them who you are. Okay, but it's more about zipping it and listening to them and what they're telling you, that and taking that and thinking about how you're going to come back to those points that they were stating, to what they were talking about. The most influential conversationalists are usually the ones that speak very little in the conversation. Okay, you sit there and you ask people a couple of questions. If you want to get to know somebody, you're at a wedding, and you only really know the bride, or so you only know the groom. You don't even know their families and stuff, and you kind of feel like that outsider. Just ask, like, oh, who are you, what do you do, where are you from, and brothers or sisters, it kind of open up and let them talk about themselves. And you will get, especially if you're talking to like-minded people, you will get nuggets of gold to sprinkle along your path going forward, of wisdom, of knowledge, to allow that growth to be more spontaneous and more freedom-filled. Sandwiching this energy, and we'll talk about it in a second, is the Emperor. Okay, so it's very important for us to stay grounded, to make sure that what we are proposing to do is doable. Okay, that we are grounded in our thoughts, in our plan, making the strategy. I think we are also looking a little bit towards spirit. So we're talking about what we want to bring into our world. We're asking God, our angels, our guides, the universe, our higher self to open up the paths of opportunity for us, open up those doors for us. But we are also strategizing our own plan, and we find that when we start looking around in our environment, that we already have a lot to give just by who we are. Okay, so we are the magic. 90% of your success is going to be your magic. 10% is going to be the actual doing. So this week is about really understanding your capabilities and building on those capabilities. It could be also joining with other people to take your limited success and make it great by having so many influxes of different personalities, traits, skills, and talents to really grow it into a great success, okay? As we come into the week, As we come into the week, we've decided that we want to have a world that is filled with a harmony, filled with a love, filled with a sense of balance, security. We definitely want the prosperity and the abundance to be there in our lives, but it's about feeling strong in just sitting here present in the moment and being able to build upon that. Does that make sense to you? So you're kind of stating that this is the way you want to go forward. This is the things that you are being drawn to. These are where you want to put your energy, your focus, your attention. So there could be quite a few very strong conversations here. Definitely some strong conversations here. And this could be a brand new path, okay? This is you looking at that wand and saying, I think I'm going to go for it. I think I'm going to do it. I think I have what it takes, okay? We have the Emperor as the underwriting energy, so we know that we are the diplomat. We know that we are the intuitive. We know that we can build a strong strategy, and we know we can accomplish, okay? Understanding what we need to be grateful for allows us the opportunity to come in and expose itself to us. And in order for us to really realize it, we have to understand what truly makes us feel free and alive, and what you really want to step into. Your environment, to bring in the harmony, to create the beauty. And maybe that's redecorating. Maybe it is it could be redecorating, but it could be bringing in new people, new flavors, new experiences, new understandings. And we gain the understandings through listening more than speaking this week. As we go at the end of the week, we have the Ten of Swords here. The Ten of Swords is a beautiful card. Okay, I know it looks very horrendous. There we are. It looks like those swords are in our back. They're not. Okay, those swords are definitely not in your back in this depiction of the Ten of Swords. They are behind you. They are your shield of strength. That is what is taking you here. I think I said something about the legacy earlier, and I think we might be even going through an experience right now this week that we've finished all the trials. We're now ready to enter the lighter energy, the brighter energy, and really have that strength. Okay, so we could actually feel a little exhausted in all of our accomplishments that we've done so far. A lot of brainstorming, a lot of working together, a lot of learning, a lot of taking in information, making a decision of some kind, and finally you ever make a decision and you just don't want to do it. You just don't want to. It's going to be horrific. You got to have that conversation. You don't want to have that conversation, so you're ignoring it and you're thinking about ways of getting out of it. And finally it comes a point when you do it, and after you walk away you go, wow, I feel great. I was carrying all that around. I didn't even realize it. Wow, I should have done that weeks ago. So it's kind of like that energy is happening for you now. Okay, it's you get, the sun is going to shine on you. You are going to be raised in your vitality and your energy. So if you have a little bit of a dip, don't worry about it, because there is a lot more energy being utilized this week other than doing. Okay, well, now we do have several wands, so there is some doing involved here. Actually, we have 3 wands, right? 3 wands, but there's a lot of thinking too. So balance yourself, okay? Balance yourself. Make sure that you're balanced. Ground yourself. For work and career, the 10 of Wands, you're trying to do too much to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. It's time to work a little bit smarter and a little less harder than you have been. You've been pushing and pushing and pushing for something to materialize in your life, to something to pop, something to grow, get that promotion, get that raise in pay, start that new money stream, whatever it might be for you. And you're just spreading yourself too thin. That could definitely be. You're taking on too many different projects to try and reach the same result. So, kind of actually put those blinders on a little bit and see which ones are working the best and put your attention on the very best. So prioritize. So you could have almost like a scattered kind of energy. So once again, we need to pull it in. We need to ground ourselves and understand where we are using our energy or our vitality or our time or resources in a way that is not beneficial going forward. It hasn't been and it won't be. And it is time to leave that in your rearview mirror. It's time to let go of maybe some where you have controls in your life, or maybe you need to surrender to something which would take a lot of that off your back, okay? That burden. Take a lot of that burden away from you, okay? Now, when we look at it, there are some with great, beautiful growth that we want to take with us, but there are others that are deadwood, okay, that are not contributing in any way. So we have the Emperor. We're making the strategy. We're making the plan. We're understanding what we really do have to work with, and now we can clearly see what does not belong. What is taking up space or taking up energy or taking up your time. And you can utilize it so much better in the direction of work, career, being of service in your community, raising your stature. Okay? And it's right next to the Five of Wands here, which is the group thing. So I would have to think that you are attracting. This could be a very social thing for you too. Okay? So get out there and socialize with purpose. Okay? Learn from the people that you are associating with, but also it's a time to reflect on where you need to put your energy the most, what they are looking for, what makes you shine. Everybody has their own thing, right? When you're hiring, say, for a job or something, you're looking at maybe somebody who is really clean because you need somebody to kind of do some of the housekeeping, because the last person who did all the housekeeping has walked out the door. And that is a vital part of having a very safe and clean and beautiful environment. Maybe they could motivate others. Do they have leadership skills? So we're looking at different things when we are hiring. Maybe we need some kind of physical labor. Or do they look strong? Do they look healthy? Do they look like they could carry 50 pounds or so? Up a ladder, perhaps, whatever it might be. So it's about really understanding your potential, really understanding what you can put out there. I think there is a glow, there is a charm about you this week that is just beautiful. And the Emperor kind of gives that kind of energy up, and it's radiating in this direction for you. Right? So being grateful, you come alive, you start to experience the goodness that is around you. You see what is around you that is wonderful and beautiful. Things that you can tap into that really reflect, and you could be releasing emotions through your creativity right now too. And maybe this burden does not allow you to be creative, or, it's time to really clear house here in some ways for you. Okay, when it comes to really, and you've had some dynamic energy pushing you forward, but you seem to be dragging with you this weight. It's like you're trying to sail away into uncharted territory, but you forgot to reel in the anchor, and so it's dragging and it's not allowing you to go forward in the way you want. Does that make sense to you? Okay, we'll go to relationships. Relationships is judgment. So there is a rebirth here, okay? We're going to lay this down. Our relationships, if we meet somebody right now, they could actually take us to a destiny, a legacy, okay? That is a very potent thing here. Also, we're making some strong decisions when it comes to our relationships. They're very emotional, very intense. We want to create harmony. We want to create beauty. We want to create deeper connections with those people, and it's almost like a rebirth of who you are within the relationship, that masterminds that, so here, once again, right, there's great popularity for you. Make sure that you're not falling into some superficial relationships there with that combination, but they could be very strong combinations too. It's like you can strengthen those relationships. You can nurture those relationships. Now, you're gifted. You're gifted in some way to do these things and to create harmony, to create beauty. But I think you show up with that harmony and beauty already infused within you, and it's just it just your auras meet kind of thing, right? Okay, one more card. We've got the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is going to go over the Four of Cups. And once you see the beauty of what's around you, what's within you, okay? But when you write out your priority list, okay, let's just do it really fast, okay? And we'll only do 3 things, okay? So write out your priority list, the 3 things that matter most to you. Okay. You might need to pause it. If you need to pause it and think about it, absolutely. When you come back, I'll be here. And here I am to say, okay, I hope you put yourself as number 1. And if you didn't, that's where you need to start working. Because everybody else sees your glow. Everybody else sees your charm. Everybody else sees the wonderment of who you are, the beauty of who you are, and you still fail to see it and putting yourself as the priority. Because if you are not taking care of yourself, body, mind, and soul, okay, then you can't be that person. And that person is already inside of you. All you have to do is let it out. Let your inner child out to play. Okay, I think this week is you show up, and with a grace you allow people to be themselves and authentic and real while you're authentic and real. This is about rebirth as well. So it's about, taking that stagnant relationship and infusing it with harmony and beauty and love and, do new things together. Even like a learning experience, right? Take a little workshop together or something to laugh and grow at the same time. And this could be somebody that moves you towards a destiny, a legacy, absolutely. And it's somebody who is going to raise you up. There's somebody here that really sees your potential and maybe calls you out on your potential and who you are. Okay, so really set some clear intentions for yourself this week going forward, because we do have the Moon card there. And this card is, once this is, the thought process of making those intentions. Understand where you need to release certain things. Maybe you've got 15 projects on the go. Cut it down to 1 or 2 or 3 at the most, okay? Concentrate on those and those alone. See how those take off. And when they get their own momentum, of course, incorporate maybe a couple more things that you had put on the back shelf. But you're trying to do too much, and some of your energy is definitely being wasted, and it's about reprioritizing in your life right now when it comes to work and career, in order to really step into the bountiful harvest, the abundance, the prosperity that you truly want in your life going forward. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.